people, and welcome to our review of The Finest Hours. Connor, what is The Finest Hours about?
The Finest Hours is a Coast Guard mission where a boat breaks in half, and a young man leads a crew to go and help them, but on a very small boat, and his girlfriend is really wary about him going. She's afraid he's going to die. What did you think about this movie?
I liked this movie quite a bit. I thought that this movie was pretty darn good. I thought that Casey Affleck, I thought that he was great in the movie. It's like one of the only roles that he was actually really good in. Chris Pine, very different role than what he's usually done. And, there's probably going to be some Starship Enterprise jokes where they're like, if you want anyone to save you, you want it to be the commander of the Starship Enterprise. And there's going to be those jokes, but he was actually had like a dark demeanor to him. He wasn't all tongue-in-cheek and all pretty boy. He was a very different role than he's played before. I thought that the opening logo for Disney, I thought that was a really clever choice to make it black and white. That was really cool. I thought that the entire movie just felt like the 1950s.
That's right. I totally agree on that.
It didn't feel like it was shot in modern day. It felt like it was the 1950s and you were in the 1950s. Almost, sometimes it felt like a movie from the 1950s. But yeah, I thought I really liked that.
Up until they leave, it feels exactly like a movie from the 1950s.
I agree with that. I thought that it was more about the crew than I thought it would be. I thought it would be, completely focused on Chris Pine's character and all the Coast Guards, but it was more about the crew than I thought it would be. I thought the score was great, the ocean scenes were intense, and there's one final rescue scene that is probably so far the best scene of the year. It is a very intense scene, and it goes on for quite a while. They had a strange break in the middle of the scene, and I'm like, really? Come on, we don't care about that. Get back to the saving. But I thought that was a great scene. What did you think about this movie?
I loved this movie. It was really historically accurate. Like you'd expect for the guy to kneel down on his knees, and give the wife a ring, will you marry me? But no, that's before the time of rings, and you have to give someone a ring to marry someone. So it was really historically accurate. You feel like they didn't research anything, and they just were like, yeah, movie, money, yeah. And special effects were great. Oh my gosh. They must have spent a lot of money on this movie. I hope it gets its money back. It was really great.
It probably won't. It's failed at the box office, the weekend estimates.
I like the one-take scenes. Like, it's all one take. It's just order, and then they order all the way down until, all the way down, and then they do the order.
I thought that was good the first time, but not the second time.
I felt it was good both times. The score was awesome.
The score was great.
Oh my gosh. The 3 different subplots, all of them I was interested in. Like, I'd go... I'd leave a subplot, and the movie would leave a subplot, and I'm like, no, I liked that subplot. This one's boring. And then at the end of that scene, in that subplot, I'm like, why do we have to leave this scene? Why do we want to go on another subplot? This scene is too good. And another subplot makes me feel really great, and I really liked that aspect. And how there's 3 great subplots that actually are all good. And the set design of the boat and the Coast Guard area is amazing. Oh my gosh. This movie is so great. Everything about it. The acting, Chris Pine and Casey Affleck are both amazing. Some of the best roles I've seen them in. And it was really intense. Really, really intense. And I feel like some of the times there were some scenes where it was just wave after wave after wave after wave is keeping on hitting them, and you could say that's boring in any other movie, but no, you couldn't. In this movie, it was just oh my god, is he gonna make it over? Oh my god, he made it over. Oh, that's even bigger. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I was just oh my god, that was so awesome. I loved this movie.
Yeah. See, when you said you were interested in 3 subplots, I was interested in 2. One of them, I kind of felt like, I kind of felt like, okay, we're going here because...
I was still interested in that subplot.
I wasn't interested at all. I thought that, they had the whole thing with her car, and I was just kind of bored with that subplot. And I hated how they cut away during the escape, with the rescue scene. They're super intense rescue, and then we see the girl's car being towed. that got annoying after a while.
I did
but
not feel that.
I think that this is a really good movie. Some of the
love
bad,
this movie. Yes.
it's not really original. It's you've seen it before.
I feel it is original.
It's not really gonna stand out to me. I don't think it's rewatchable. And I think
It was totally rewatchable.
sometimes there's this one character that's posed as a villain, and I thought he was just like, you didn't really see another side to him. He was just all business, and I wish that you would have seen another side to him. But overall, I like The Finest Hours, and I may see it another time in my life, but it's not a movie that's going to stand out, but it was a good movie. Had a good time in the experience. I give it a 7 out of 10.
See, this is another film that, just like The Big Short, where I feel like it's either a really, really, really high 9.99 or a really, really, really low 10. But I'm going to give it a really, really, really high 9.99. I love this movie. Definitely go see it. Kung Fu Panda 3 was okay, but definitely see this movie. Definitely better than any other movie that's out right now. I loved this movie.
What about Star Wars?
Well, I liked it more than Star Wars.
What? Whoa! Okay.
I didn't like it more than The Big Short.
Wow.
But I liked it more than Star Wars.
Wow. Okay then. Alright, that's, okay. A movie we're comparing it to is The Perfect Storm. The Perfect Storm is a movie that I think is a good movie at times, and at other times I think isn't that good of a movie.
Yes.
I think sometimes it feels like, there's one scene where Mark Wahlberg is like, he's the only one left. And that scene I thought was pretty bad. Just... I don't even want to explain the scene.
I didn't think it was bad.
I thought it was a horrible scene. I thought that sometimes they're like, okay, feel bad for these guys. These guys are on their worst time ever. And sometimes I thought that worked. Sometimes I thought it didn't. The cast is great. Mark Wahlberg is probably in the best role I've ever seen him in. I haven't seen him in a lot of roles, but
I liked him more in The Happening, but no one liked The Happening. So.
Yeah,
except for me.
George Clooney was also pretty good in this role. And overall I think it's an entertaining movie, and I love how they don't get away from these guys went out for greed. Because there's even a part where, you know what, let's just continue through. Well, what about all the fish? They never leave the fish alone. It's always a big thing until it literally comes to the point that they're about to sink. Yeah. And I think overall it is an entertaining movie, but it's not a movie. I think it has some dull scenes and some just bad scenes that I think are just boring. And overall, I think that The Perfect Storm is a decent movie, but agree. I'm never going to see it again.
Yeah, I feel the same way. The first hour, I just find is kind of boring.
See, I thought that some of it was cool, but some of it wasn't.
Most of it was boring.
Yeah. All right.
Action-packed, but still dramatic. I really liked how they did that.
Yeah.
And the huge wave scene where they're going over the huge wave. Oh my god, that was so awesome. And I did like the ending, but it was decent. It was not a film I will remember often, but I really liked it.
Yeah. Overall, I think I would give The Perfect Storm a 6 out of 10, but I don't love it, and it's a decent movie.
I will give it a 6.5 out of 10.
6.5. All right. Well, that looks like that concludes our review of The Finest Hours. All right.
Make sure to look forward to our review of Hail Caesar, comparing it to Hugo and Birdman.
All right. Well, I'm Robert Burke.
And I'm Connor Gilbert.
And this is The Clever Critics. Goodbye.